Today I'm here chatting all about how to let go of overwhelm and embrace your power. Okay, so that's what we're chatting about today. I'm going to give you 4 tools to do that. And the reason I wanted to come in and chat about that is because I have felt extremely overwhelmed this week. It doesn't happen very often, and I don't like how it feels. So if any of you are experiencing that, whether it's around Christmas, whether it's around your health, whether it's around your job or the pandemic or whatever it is that's driving this feeling of overwhelm, I'm with you. I see you, I feel you, I'm going through it too. And last night it hit me that when we don't talk about these things or we don't discuss them with each other or figure out ways to move past it, we can easily get stuck in it, right? We get stuck in this spiral and it just feels like we're on a hamster wheel. For me, overwhelm feels like stress. It feels like constriction. It feels like it's hard to breathe. It feels like I want to take the next step, but I don't always know what it is. And, I'm sure that happens for you. Maybe it happens differently. And sometimes I don't know how to get out of it. So last night I really sat with that. I'm like, hey, what am I doing right now to move past my overwhelm and how might this help others? Okay, so I've got 4 tools for you that might help you if you are feeling overwhelmed and you're ready to take back your power. First one is deep breathing. And again, this seems really basic and super simple, but we forget to do it. In the moment when we're overwhelmed, we forget to take a step back, take a breath. It's all going to be okay. Say your mantras, say your affirmations, something positive. It's all going to work out. It's all going to be okay. In this moment, it might not feel like it, but it will. And so taking a deep breath and stepping back is tool number 1. And it could just be a couple deep breaths. You turn away from whatever the situation is, you walk away and you take some deep breaths. Okay, so that's number 1. Super simple. We all have our breathing. We can all do that, right? We're hoping. Step number 2 is to talk it out. And sometimes I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. I shut it down. I say, forget it. If I don't talk about it, it doesn't exist, right? I just want to walk away. And what I realized last night was that talking it out actually helped. And it wasn't a long, in-depth conversation. It was simply, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed about this. Is this realistic to be overwhelmed about? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? I was. And it was going to be okay. But I just needed to go through it and chat it out and figure out what was going on for me and how I was going to get past it. Right? So in that moment, talking it out was the best thing I could have done because within 10 minutes I felt better. And I was like, oh, the weight had lifted. I felt less stress. I felt less constriction. I felt less anxiety, right? So that is step number 2. Talk it out. Find someone that you can, to be your sounding board, someone who can listen with a positive ear, okay? And that can come back to you and say, yes, you know what? This is reality, but you're going to be okay. And take a breath and move on, right? So it goes back to step number 1. All right, step number 3. I like this one. Nudge it forward. So what do I mean by nudge it forward? Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I've been writing an adult self-help book for the last 2 years. And I've only had 1 hour a week to write. And it feels like this process is taking forever. And I feel overwhelmed about it. I feel, oh my gosh, is it going to get done? Have I set a deadline for myself that's unrealistic? I'm going through all of these feelings, right? This was one of the things I was overwhelmed about yesterday. But what I realized is when you take one little step and you nudge that project forward, you do one little thing, it actually makes you feel better because it makes you feel like you're in charge, right? You've taken back your power to go, oh, right, there's 10 steps to get where I want to go, but today I nudged it forward. I took that next step. I did that next little bit, and it felt better, and it releases some of that overwhelm because you know you're still propelling forward. You're not stuck. You did the thing you needed to do to push it forward, right? So nudge it forward is number 3. So if you've got something that big in your mind, something that's feeling overwhelming, what can I do in this moment? Take back control of what you can do and push it forward. Do that next thing to get yourself forward and still feeling like you're in it, right? You're still doing what you need to do, and that helps to reduce the overwhelm. All right, and number 4, go for a walk and move your body. Okay, move. That's all you need to do is move. Fear and overwhelm is energy. It's built up energy in your body. It's pent up energy. And how do we release energy? Well, we move, right? It can be something simple like when you do this with your hands, and if you do it long enough and you pull your hands away, I learned this last weekend, you feel the energy you create in your body by moving it. So what does that mean? Well, get up and walk. Get up and get out of the room that you're in. Change the environment. Go outside, right? Go for a walk around the block. Do whatever you need to do to move some energy through your body. And that is why walking is really good for stress reduction, because when we move our bodies, we release stress, right? Anything that we can do to generate energy and release is fantastic for reducing overwhelm. Okay, so those are the 4 tips I've got for you today. What was number 1? Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay, right? Turn away from the situation. Do some deep breathing. Number 2, talk it out. Find someone that can help you and talk it out. Number 3, nudge it forward, right? Push that thing forward. Take that one little next step, because then you feel better. And number 4 is move your body. Release some of that pent up energy and you will feel better. I guarantee it, because I know it works, right? I've done this stuff. And Overwhelm has this interesting thing because it displays as fear in a lot of ways. I listened to a really great Louise Hay video this morning, all inspiration, and she was basically talking about when we have overwhelm, it's usually because of fear. And what does overwhelm and fear cause? Well, it causes us a lot of stress, right? It reduces our energy, so it sucks our energy because we're wasting it on all these things that we're stressing about, right? So when we can pivot and revamp what we're thinking and change our thinking pattern, we can then reduce that overwhelm and stress, and then we get more energy and we feel good to do the things we want to do, right? It also decreases our immune system, which is no good. Nobody needs that right now, right? So stress and overwhelm isn't good for our bodies. It winds us up, and that's the last thing we need. We want to calm down. We want to bring ourselves back down. And if I gave you a little bonus tip, something that maybe not everybody's into, but I know a lot more people are using these days, is meditation, right? Meditation is fantastic for bringing down stress and helping you feel really good in your body, right? It grounds you, it gives you that extra perspective, it takes you away from the stress and into something else. Okay, so I hope these tips were super helpful for you, and if you are feeling any stress or overwhelm, I encourage you to embrace your power, take it back, use these tips, use these tools, let me know how it goes. If you've got a tool that you're using right now that's helping you get through these times, helping you get through something you're feeling overwhelmed about, please pop it in the comments. I'm sure it could help someone else out. And I hope this is helpful for everyone, and have a wonderful day, and please take back your power.